All right, Sunday night. It's a whole barrel of laughs. Yeah, so I will do the usual. I'm not making a video. Just actually. Wait a minute. I'm thinking. Yeah, I have some gins. Hello. Oh, Hannah. Are you still on the duck side? Right. I'm going to try these. Little sample gins I got today. And one big bottle of gin. It's a fun outing going to a market and all these distilleries with stalls there. So we did tastings, got a little bit drunk in the middle of the day. Middle of the afternoon, I should say. It wasn't midday. Actually, kind of was. So I'll revert back to my original statement. Got a little bit drunk in the middle of the day. Yes, because we were supporting local producers at a local market. Several I've never tried before, which was fun. Two of which I'd actually not heard of before looking up this market anyway. And as is typical for Australian booze, they were all very yummy. And so I got little samples from everyone. And I can get quite drunk just giving myself generous samples tonight because I just had teeny samples. Because I did actually drive to this market. So definitely didn't want to get rat-assed at the market. Yeah, daylight saving changed, yes. That's even better. Daylight saving excuse, nice. And yes, we're in God's own time zone now, Hannah. Not this decadent socialist southern time zone. There we go. God damn, these goddamn plastic seals. Okay. What do they call it? Deerwood. Sorry, Deanswood. So I've got the Navy Strength, 57%. Lemon Myrtle Gin, very Australian flavours in that. Wild Rosella, also very Australian flavours. And this one from another distillery, Port Phillip. They're really a 20-minute drive up the road, and I had no idea they existed. But I did see them listed when I looked up the market. But I did not even see this other guy, Deanswood, listed. So it's completely new to me. And the other two distilleries I was familiar with. Oh, all these plastic goddamn seals. So I just got to decide. I'm going to make a martini, and I think I'm definitely doing the Navy strength, and maybe combine it with one of the other gins. I swear I haven't had anything to drink. Yes, I've just been a supporter of local producers at a market. Right, I'll do Navy strength last because I'm almost definitely. So, modern Australian gin, proudly made in Melbourne. Easy to drink Melburnian gin. There's something different to see if you like it. Oh, that's the other thing. I got some mixers as well. We're good. Anyway, well, I know we'll mix it up. I'll do Nick's small batch gin, then Millie's small batch gin, and then Insanity. Glug glug splash. And a white girl wasted. Anger's going to get sulfur crested sloshed. Yeah, that's fair. A really nice, gentle aroma on that. That's like a really fruity gin. That's pleasant. I should have some water. God, I should have some goddamn water for palate cleansing. What am I thinking? Right, excuse me for a second, Hannah. These I've tasted them all. They are all good. But yeah, they're great. I mean, what's in the Insanity? Do they say? They don't really say. But this is a sort of slightly sweeter style gin as well. Anyway, I gotta go get a glass with some water. All right, I also brought some of my mixers in, which I had for the first time today, and I will very much recommend them. They're in Coles, Independent Australian beverage maker. Yeah, I need water. Just a palate cleanser between tastes. So this is Nick's small batch with wild rosella. It's a very faint pink tinge. It's just a really nice gin, basically. Cleanse the palate. Now we'll do Insanity, which is an extreme name. for a mild gin. A little bit of glug glug ASMR. Love that sound. Okay. Another very gentle, not much on the aroma. Oh, God, that feels almost. They talk about minerality. Hey, Chris, 3 a.m. Time travel is hard. There's no two ways about it. No, we'll see. Yeah, you spring forward. We fall back. This is one of the few times I'll say fall because it's a good mnemonic to remember us going into autumn. Actually, I'll cop to. I also use fall when I'm doing cocktails for YouTube because a decent chunk of viewers are North American. And so when I talk about autumn, I will say autumn or fall, just from a purely marketing point of view. Hannah, someone liked the glug that gluggle jugs need to exist. I bet you could make one. I could bet you could make one where it was just a circular pouring thing and an air bubble got in so it went glug, glug, glug. Do it the right way at the same time. Well, there's that too. Yeah, see, we're in the future, Chris. So if you want any hot tips of what the future brings, my hot tip is crypto's a scam. In the future, we've come to know this. Weird thing is, that doesn't mean you can't make money from it. It's all in the timing. Now, this is the lemon myrtle gin. Yes, it is actually mean that we don't warn the rest of the world and the other time zones about the big things before they happen. Yeah, crypto is a fucking scam. A really distinct lemon flavor. I think that's the one for the martini. Do a split of this and the Navy strength from the same people. The captain's tipple. Alrighty. And clear all these little plastic seals I ripped off. That sounds terrible. It sounds like I'm doing something to marine life. Getting rid of these seals. Okay, water tastes really weird after drinking those gins, just going to say. I mean, we tried to warn them about the tentacle monsters, but you know, what are you going to do? All right. So, going to do a Deanswood martini. We come over here. Because I knew I was going to do this. I brought my dry vermouth out of the fridge. I have to empty this little bar bin. Ah. Okay. We want stirring. Jigger. Orange bitters. I think I want to put just a little bit of orange bitters in here. Not much though. Okay. Fitty on these gins, I think. Oh yeah. There's gonna be a strong martini. Cause it's half Navy strength. Bit more vermouth than I can put in, but why not? 100 bitters. And now we want some ice. Because the secret to a good martini is make it damn cold. All right. Okie dokie. Let's stir that something. Okay. Count to about 20 in my head. Okay. We are 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000, 8 I think I'm doing that too slow. Anyway, that's probably enough. What is meine martini glass? I'm just doing it in a martini glass. Oh, good. I was about to pour the ice into my glass. That's what we're doing. All right. Martini. I got a martini. Heaven. I'm in heaven. I'm gonna put all these gins back up here now. I'll do the whiskies next. That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna put an orange peel in there too. Is there any oils left in this? I noticed as I peel the orange, it loses the oils. Oh yeah, lots of oils. We're good. Hey Nick, how you going? As an elder, if you were to watch a show of television, what would you want to see? Do you want me to invent a show that I want to see? And is it to do with the internet, or are you just asking me what I'm viewing or what I'm looking forward to viewing? Yeah. See, Chris, people are stuck on this fucking solar eclipse bullshit. That's just a solar eclipse. Tentacle monsters, that's the whole thing. Hey, Rays, just get home. Zup, man. Oh, yes. That is what's going to get... I'm getting fucked up on Australian Flora Favour Gin. Fucking martini. That's a good martini. What would I want to see? Again, Nick, that's... sorry, this is me being obtuse. That's not clear to you. So you are asking me of a show that doesn't exist, what would I like to come into existence? And are you proposing any particular type of show or an adaptation of something? My apologies for being so obtuse. Everyone run from the tentacle and say, hey, Pat, how you doing, big guy? You see, Pat, I'm drinking a martini, not to get drunk, to support local creators, to local businesses, and because I'm classy. Might have overdone it with the orange peel, actually, but it's still nice. Ah, yes, they make a good martini. No two ways about it. Should have had my glass in the freezer, though. Just love really cold. That's why I have the freezer infinity martini. Just so good. I'm good, thanks, Pat. Had a good day. Just hanging out with Mrs. Angry, really. Went to this market. Thank you, Strictly Sega. I'm being super elegant and drinking martinis made from the gins I bought today. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure a non-gin drinker would probably think that tastes like petrol, but I think it tastes really clean and light, which is just a nicely chilled martini. To me, is just like crisp mountain water. It's very yummy. Okay, a network comedy. Okay, you've asked me a really specific thing there, Nick. Thank you for spoon feeding me. Uh, network comedy. Okay, so I mean, workplace comedies are always good, quite honestly. Um, okay, I just had this idea pop into my head when you asked me, Nick, and I'm thinking of uh, dark comedy. I would like to do a farce where a bunch of sort of terminally online debate bro, right wing, borderline or over the borderline Nazis spent all the time trying to plot to overthrow the woke mind virus and kept failing all the time because they're so fucking stupid and so fucking incompetent and just make fun of them all the time. And then they have a black neighbor and they're too scared to say they're upset that their neighbor's black. So Tricky say you sold 150 discs, so you're packing 11 orders. I bet that's a drag. I know. Crochet rage. Oh no, too many stitches. Ah, it's oof. It's a combat sport, crochet and knitting. Oh, yeah, you're doing online fulfillment would be the same thing. Hey, no, how you doing, man? So that was a lot more than usual. Oh, business is a booming. Hey, movie quote. I say that at work occasionally, and I think people don't get the reference quite often. See? There you go, Nick. Pitch that to us. I just think you could make a really good fast. And I am thinking of a movie from, oh God, 10 or 20 years ago called Four Lions. And it's about these guys in England who want to be jihadis and they're just comically incompetent. But it's the darkest of dark comedy. Nug, windy. Ah, that's the whole thing. Yes, that's the thing. Your business is busy, but that just means you're busy. You know the feeling. 50 orders is normal for a Saturday. Christmas and toys quadruple. Oof. Yeah, a sudden surge, and you're all gone. I'm gonna look up this movie because, as I frequently complain, COVID has fucked my perception of time. 2010. I think it's one of the first big films for Riz Ahmed. He's done heaps since then. And he's very good at it. But yeah, 2010, the darkest of dark comedies. But yes, I want to do one with incompetent right wingers. Yes, Three Kings, pretty good Iraq War film. Four Lions, extremely good. But yes, you think, can someone make a farcical comedy about terrorism? And yeah, they can. Holy shit, 47 miles per hour, taking down some fences. Damn. Oh god, hand of the party is. They went inside because it rained, but they left the music outside. Cops finally turned it. Oh, shut them down at midnight and back to. Okay, they've been very cheeky if they do it after the cops come around because that's when you get a really serious fine. If it's the same cops and they're annoyed with you. Sophie, you're tempted to buy some of his HD DVDs. The Candidate, Robert Redford film. I don't think I've ever watched it. I know the film you're talking about, Nick, but I don't think I've ever watched it. Mm. Oh, God, making a martini was a great fucking idea. As I said, the orange peel, I might have been better off without, but I regret nothing. We just keep on keeping on. I would rate in terms of how the fuck do you turn this into a comedy? I would rate Four Lines as right up there with Death of Stalin. Because how the fuck you make a comedy out of the horrors of Stalinist Soviet Union with just the purges and the paranoia and the murders? But they friggin' did it. Death of Stalin's an incredible movie and very funny. Also dark as fuck. Oh, I do remember Bulworth, the Warren Beatty one. Turns out neighborhood did band together. Half a dozen people going gardening. Ah, nice. Power tools, lawnmowers, I hope. That's the sort of thing I like to hear. Yes. Death of Stalin's incredible. Very funny, but super fucked up. Yes, the actor from Captain Lorca is Zhukov, the head of the military. He has one of my favorite bits when I think it's Khrushchev is trying to swing him over to support seizing power in the wake of Stalin's death. And they're talking away, and Zhukov just going, "Comrade, I have to inform you that you're going to be reported for anti-revolutionary plotting," and Khrushchev is just fucking horrified because this means execution, and Zhukov keeps it going for a while, and then just starts laughing and goes, "Oh my god, your fucking face!" And Khrushchev's like, "Fucking stop it! This isn't funny." Yeah, I don't know what our boy's view of Death of Stalin would be. Probably not favorable. Secret Honor, I don't know that one. And yes, the library detective in Seinfeld, that guy was very funny, and he's in heaps of stuff. All right, round 2 of tasting is whiskey. I did not know the InView distillery had so many whiskies. Oh, that's got a seal on it. We'll keep you in good spirits. Follow us on Instagram. All right. Whiskey. Oh, nice. Hannah, good news from work. Well, I think with your work, if it's good news, it's probably going to be good. All right. Safi, you reckon Death of Stalin's banned in Russia? That would not surprise me. What is this? This is a little card stuck in here. Scan the QR code, unlock a treasure trove of tasting notes, recipes, and pairing suggestions. Neat. Anyway, these little bottles from InView. 3 different whiskies and high proof brandy. So the brandy is 54%. That's really high proof for a brandy. That's straight off the barrel, I think. Barrel strength. So you have an overall store manager, 4 different managers responsible for different things. For some reason, you fall under one managed department, but only ever work into others. So direct line manager, you never work for them. Reporting lines. No, you learned something. U.S. military does like fighting the locals. Oh yeah, no, that freaking happens all the time. Yes. Library detective plays Nixon. Whole movie him just trying to cope with how he'll be remembered and perceived. How pissed off at everyone. It's like Kennedy women. All right, so Hannah, the work thing. You had a shuffle of managers. One of the managers you get along with wants you to transfer to his department. You won't change your job, but they just need his permission to use your unit. Okay. So you actually get a manager who you deal with and like dealing with. So this is maize, a high corn whiskey, aged in ex bourbon barrels, then ex Australian rye whiskey. All right, let's see if we can get this open. So this one's done in the style of bourbon. This one was just aged in an ex-bourbon cask. And then there's one that was aged in a port cask. Get this bloody plastic seal off. All right. And this one. Nope, come on, come off. God damn it. What's this doing to me? Okay, got them ready. So, Strictly Sagan, a library detective playing Nixon. Died was his advisor. Pardon places guilt. Oh, it's a Robert Altman film. Okay. Oh, nice. So if you get this manager as your official manager, you don't get rostered to do shit jobs. Well, good. You deserve it. So, no, you listen to a podcast. Oh, the Battle of Brisbane, talking about fighting with Americans. Yes. Battle of Bomber Bridge started because the US wanted to bring Jim Crow. Yeah. Where troops actually started shooting at each other. Watched a shitty movie, but didn't know John Cena and Jackie Chan called Hidden Strike. Okay. So it's like a China making an American style film where the Americans are the baddies. Yeah, well, there you go. All right. And I also have another whiskey from a different distillery. The Bellarine Australian single malt. Aged in red wine and bourbon barrels. So in 2 different barrels over its life. Where's the fucking... God, try and get the fucking seals off again. Again, Greenpeace, when I say I want to rip seals apart, I'm not threatening aquatic life, okay? Calm down. Seals can mean 2 things. Like Dr. Nick Riviera. What? Flammable and inflammable mean the same thing? What a crazy language. All right. You know what? I could put these all in different glasses. Maybe I should. I'll be a colossal wanker and put them all in different tasting glasses. The purity of experience. I'll be looking for stuff to fill up the dishwasher anyway. Okay, here we go. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Okie dokie. Not Neil the Seal. All right, I'll spare Neil the Seal. Fuck me sideways. I almost broke a glass. Ugh. All right, so the maize. Pour a bit of that in there. Going to decide which of these whiskies I like best, and then I'll make an old-fashioned with it. Giving myself a decent pour. I will be fucking shit-faced when I stop this. Because I'm giving myself bigger pours. The samples, they're like 200 mils. So it's a good way to get their different things without spending an absolute fortune. Because like this one, a big bottle costs over $200. Oof, that was a whole thing. Right. Well, this one's 200 mils. I think the other ones are smaller. They're all Australian single malts. Holy shit, 52%. That's fucking cask strength. God damn. What are these ones? The maize is 46%. God, that's 2.5 standard drinks in this little bottle. I think this is only 100 mils. How much is in this? Yeah, okay, these ones are only 100 mils. The other one's 200. So that's 46%. 43.5%. 40... I don't know, their handwriting. It's handwritten on. I think it's 43.3%. Unless it's 46. I don't know. The handwriting. 3 standard drinks. 3.4 standard drinks. 3.6 standard drinks. This one's 200 mils. Batch 1 of their red wine and bourbon barrel. Their oak series. 52%, 200 mils. God damn. So I think it says how many standard drinks are in this bottle. I think you have to do that. Anyway. Classy, classy, classy. Australian single malts. Noog, I got these ones. It was 3 whiskeys and a brandy, so 4 samples. I think it was $100. And I think the gins were 3 samples. That one's cursed. Now these ones 200 mils, I think. Yeah, 3 200 mil samples for $80, I think. Hannah, the highest proof alcohol I have is the highest proof alcohol that I will drink is an absinthe that's 85% alcohol. No, 80%. They do make an 85% one that I don't have. I do also have Polish rectified spirit. I have a little bit left. That's 95% alcohol by volume. That is actually the highest alcohol volume you can have because it just vaporizes after that. But that's not for drinking. That's for making tinctures and things to extract the essence from things. So the highest proof I have that I drink is 80%. I have a rum that's 75%. I swear to God, Hannah, the Polish rectified spirit has a thing on about used in hospitals. And I was like, yeah, to fucking disinfect medical equipment. Not a recommendation for drinking anything, but yeah, I don't drink that because AZ and I did do it way back in the day, the first time I got my hands on some of it. And what was funny is if you hold it in your mouth, if you sit it on your tongue, your mouth is warm enough to vaporize this 95% alcohol. So sitting on your tongue, you can kind of feel it bubbling away and vaporizing just in your mouth. So it's not for drinking, it's for making tinctures. So my highest proof drinking thing is 80%, and I have a couple that are around 75%. I mean, you joke, but a lot of, in the early days of COVID, a lot of distillers made hand sanitizer because there was a shortage for quite a while. And then one gin maker accidentally put hand sanitizer in gin bottles and sent them out. Yikes. So I'm going to just compare aromas on these before I drink any of them. This is the Imbue Distillery Angel Share Maize Single Malt. Yeah, just kind of smells like whiskey, a little bit chocolatey. Now this one, aged in bourbon casks. Single malt aged in bourbon casks. Yeah. That smells a little bit better to me. And this one aged in a port cask. And they should have made booze scented hand scented. Technically, that was booze scented. Ethanol. Maybe a bit more there. And in the different make, the Bellarine Distillery single malt. This is a little trick someone at a distillery said I should do. You actually want to warm the whiskey up so the aroma comes off it and trap it in there. And then I think I have a predisposition to like this one more. Anyway, tasting time. Oh, that tingles on the tongue. That one does. Yes, it's like literally like trapping a fart to throw it at your sibling. Same principle. Damn. That's pretty good. Oh, that shit's gonna warm you up on a cold winter's night. Man, I'm just gonna sit around drinking whiskey all through winter. It's got a vague sort of peppery note. But just, yeah, that honey sweetness that I equate with whiskey. And it just really sits with you. It's not a watery type whiskey that you taste it and then it's gone. This just really sits with you. To breathe across my tongue, let all the aromas go. Definitely slightly spicy honey flavor. Oh man, that's really nice. Oh. Oof. So Hannah, when you do it, it's classless and tacky. If I do it with booze, I'm fancy and sophisticated. I think whiskey people probably do it with farts too. Yeah, like that. But okay, so this is the bourbon cask one. Oh, I think that's a lighter style one. Yeah, I'm like, you get all these people who don't actually. They said they had tasting notes. Where's my phone? Come here, little QR code. I'm going to see what they say because I'm actually really bad with the words, and I'll see if I agree with them. Okay, where are we? There. Come on, God damn it! It's not opening. It's like it can see there's a QR code there, but it's not opening anything. No, it is Wait, why is it on slow-mo, for fuck's sake? Okay, no, I just worked out why it wasn't doing it. It was on the wrong setting. Okay, Imbue Distillery. Angel shared whiskey maize. Extremely limited edition. Rouge. Bourbon cask. Port cask. Where are the tasting notes? God damn it. Okay, let's try this again. The maize whiskey. Blend of Australian corn and malt. Maize has been crafted with American-style whiskey drinker in mind. Aged 2.5 years in a unique combination of ex-bourbon and Australian rye Solera barrels. There's an abundance of sweet vanilla and oak, sweet nuttiness on the palate, lingering peppery finish. Okay, I did not get nutty, but I did get the slightly spicy peppery finish, definitely. All right. So I did definitely get part. Okay, so, and what was that one? The bourbon cask. What do they say about the bourbon cask one? Tasting notes. Come on. All right. 3 years in a rye Solera barrel. Previously filled with bourbon. Strategically cut the spirit and allowed the water to take on the essence of the oak so the spirit isn't shocked in its final bottling. Nose. Banana, eucalyptus, leather, polish, light caramel. Okay, see, now they put that into my head. I am getting a little bit of banana and a little bit of leather and sweetness. The palate, they're saying green orchard fruits, pinch of black pepper, passion fruit acidity. So now it's like, I'm not getting any of that fruit stuff. It's just fucking nice. Pinch of black pepper, finish sweet vanilla custard. Actually, I'm definitely getting, it's like custard with cooking spices. I'm definitely getting that. And sincerely, Hannah, being rickrolled with their QR codes, I would crack up. If you were checking it to get tasting notes and you click a thing and it just goes, I would laugh a lot. I would be totally on board with that. All right, now the third one, the port cask. What do they say about that? Port cask. Damn, $150 for a full bottle. Damn. Come on. Why won't you fucking load? Come on. Oh, there we go. Port cask. Wait, how big are those bottles that you're paying $150 for? Anyway. Aged for 3 years in oak barrels previously filled with Aussie port. 43%. Okay, the nose. Vintage leather, licorice, roasted stone fruits, and oak. I do get, this is the thing I often get off whiskies, a kind of leather smell and brown sugar. To me, that's brown sugar. Roasted stone fruits. I don't get licorice at all. Okay, now the palate. Black walnut. I don't know. Brown butter and treacle. Let's go. Yeah, I'll go treacle. I don't really know what black walnut or brown butter tastes like, but it does, to me, is like this dark feel with the notes. Finish. Fruitcake spice. Yeah, those sweet cooking spices I can get there. Man, it just really sits with like chocolatey brown sugar thing. Hey, Heine, did I say hello, Heine? If I didn't, I'm saying hello now. Oh, oh, God, I don't know if I have a favorite among those. They were just all good. All right, now the other distillery from Bellarine out past Geelong. All right. I've actually visited this distillery, the Bellarine Distillery, but last time I was there, they hadn't released their whiskey yet. So I just had some of their gins and had someone talking us through, which was nice. It was good. But now they've got a bunch of whiskeys, which are really expensive. Like the Imbue ones, 150. The Bellarine ones, I think, are up around 250. So I just got a sample bottle. Straight away, I like the aroma of this one more. I mean, I liked all of those, but this one, ooh, oh, that's like deep oak and brown sugar. Oh my God, that's really yummy. And the yumminess is just staying on my tongue. Oh, okay, maybe that's worth what they're charging it for. God damn, it's good. Safra and Heine swapping car race talk. And you go with that, by the way. I don't. I as I always say, everyone on the stream geeks out about different things, and whatever your passion is, I'm supportive. I don't know a goddamn thing about the F1, but you're going to get into it. Get into it. Mm, that's like raisins and cinnamon and brown sugar. God damn, that's good. Actually, I might drink this water because I'm going to make an old fashioned with that. It's definitely going to be the Bellarine cask strength. Ugh. So if you like when it's a good time zone for F1, not 2 a.m., I get that. But that's the thing with a world event, man. You never know what the time zone is going to be. Okay, I have cleansed my palate. I'm definitely making it with the Bellarine there. A cask strength, old fashioned. We'll put these glasses up here and the hoop. And I'll clean it tomorrow. Sometime tomorrow. We'll put the martini glass up there too, I think. China E-race. What is E-race? Is that a particular category of racing? As I said, I don't know anything about motorsports. All right, I'm just going to build this in the glass. Oh God, I've got all these fucking seals here. More stuff for the bin. Hey Celtic, how you doing, man? Oh, just gonna go up here for a minute or two. Oh, yeah. Yep, as promised, I am a little bit bored. Whoa! Ugh. What an animal. Okay. This has been melting. Drink off this water. Ah, okay. So, where's my jigger at? I'm going to put a little bit of this sugar syrup in. I think this sugar syrup is going to go particularly well with the Bellarine whiskey. All right. Oh, what am I doing? Just built in the glass. I don't know what I was thinking. I got confused. Yeah, dash of orange. Half a dash of orange bitters in there. And let me come around here. And we are going to do some aromatic bitters. It's going to be tricky, but I won't. I'm just aromatic bitters. And then we'll stir that with a cherry. Celtic, yeah, dude. I went to a market today. It was actually at the Caulfield racetrack. And there were 4 different distilleries there doing tastings, and they were yummy. And I bought something from all of them, and I've been tasting them tonight. So I'm a little bit sloshy. Hey, Matt, how you doing, man? Well, you actually came in just as I was giving an explanation. I went to a market today, and there were 4 local distilleries. I did tastings, sort of got half cut in the middle of the day, just from samples. And I bought a little something from all of them, and I've been doing on-stream tastings of them tonight. And now I have made an old-fashioned with a cask strength whiskey from the Bellarine distillery. Very yummy, but very boozy. 52% ABV. God damn, that's good. Holy fucking shit. My God, that's magnificent. Oof. I bet all of these little samples I got would make a good old fashioned, and that's what they're going to end up being, quite honestly. Oof, maybe it's worth buying a bottle of that Bellarine whiskey. Holy shit, it's good. Oh my God, that is good. Fucking yum. Oh. So yeah, I'm not. I haven't been making any videos tonight because I'm just so absurdly far ahead in La Cocktail videos. So I'm just friggin' chilling out and tasting things and having a good old time. You know what? I'm gonna have to do a high proof Sazerac. A Sazerac is made with either brandy or whiskey or a split of both. And I've got that fucking cask strength whiskey there, and I've got a cask strength brandy. So I think I'm gonna do that. Do an Australian cask strength Sazerac. Pour one out, Matt. Pour one out, my friend. So, honey, F1 were banned due to petrol. If I could swap in e-racing. Okay. Sure. Those are all words, and I understand most of them. Celtic, Market Nowra, bloke selling spirits. Free sample. Oh, dude. Yeah, no. I reckon a bunch of these are really smooth drinking. Like a couple of these gin distillers had a vodka as well that was very smooth drinking. Yeah. And you're right. Dude, you're being super fucking responsible. When stuff's too smooth. What's my sour mix? Okay. Just don't worry about sour mix. If something says sour mix, just do a mix of lemon and or lime juice and sugar syrup. That's straightforward. If you want to get super fucking fancy, I will tell you my clarified sour mix fucking kicks ass. But if you get a recipe that says use sour mix, don't use sour mix. Just do a mix of lemon and or lime juice with sugar syrup. It's that simple. And that's literally like if you didn't even have a sugar syrup, but you had lemon juice and or lime juice, do a mix, just put some sugar in it and mix it till the sugar dissolves in it. Sour mix, way better than any bottled sour mix. But my clarified sour mix, which fucking kicks ass and is essentially a really good cordial, so it's good for non-alcoholic drinks as well. Like just add some soda to it. Here's the steps. You peel your citrus, whether that be lemon or lime or both. So, and then you've got all the peel, and then you cover that with sugar. So in simple terms, you peel the citrus, weigh it, and then cover it in twice its weight in sugar, just like caster sugar. That's the easiest because it's finer sugar and it dissolves better. And what the sugar does is leaches all the oils out of the peel and liquefies. So over 12 to 24 hours, that's going to liquefy. So you let that liquefy, and there'll still be some granular sugar in it. Probably won't have all completely dissolved, but here's what you need to save the juice from the citrus. And again, that's whether it's lemon or lime or both. So you save the juice, and after 12 to 24 hours, when the sugar's mostly liquefied because it's absorbed oils from the peel, then you add the juice, and that will be enough liquid to completely dissolve the sugar. If you really need to, you could put it on a saucepan on a low heat because when you warm it up, it makes the sugar dissolve more. But the juice should be enough to liquefy all the sugar. And then you strain that out, like strain the peels away. And so you've got this thing that's a mix of citrus oil, sugar, and citrus juice. And then you add that to milk and you do a milk clarification. And you do that in a ratio of 4-to-1. So if you, for instance, had 120 mils of this syrup that was made of the oils and sugar and juice, if you had 120 mils of that, you'd add it to 30 mils of milk. So it's that 4-to-1 ratio. And that's going to curdle. You let that separate, and then you pour it through a coffee filter, maybe 2 times. This might take a really long time, like hours and hours. But what you end up with this clarified sweet and sour mix fucking kicks ass. It tastes so good. It's so good as a sour mix in a cocktail, or even, like I said, for a non-alcoholic thing. Just add soda water or lemonade to it, and it's so fucking yum. It's incredible. And that's the same thing. Like if you get a proper cocktail recipe that says use a citrus juice and sugar, just substitute both those elements for this clarified sour mix, and it's just fucking awesome. It's so good. But if you don't want to go to all that trouble, because that takes about a day to do, all of that takes about a day or even 2 days to do. If you want it instant, you literally just mix citrus juice with sugar. And there you've got sour mix. Fuck any off-the-shelf sour mix, they're garbage. But also, if that's what you've got, use it. I mean, honestly, but holy shit, that's a good old-fashioned. That is so fucking yummy. Also, the other thing I got from the market today, 2 of the gin makers were recommending this mixer, Soda Smith. It's made in Tasmania. They make a few different tonic waters, and there's this finger lime soda that doesn't have a lot of sugar in it. And they all said, oh, you can just get these from Coles. That's the only place to start. And there was a Coles not far from the market. So I stopped in there on the way home. They're half price this week at Coles. They're not cheap. Even at half price, they're not cheap. But they are super fucking good. And holy shit, quality gin and tonic, just the Soda Smith tonic with a quality Australian gin. Holy shit, so good. And I'm not a gin and tonic guy because I think tonic water, it's a bit bitter and blah, blah, blah. But so when these gin makers were giving me like a sample of the gin, I like tasting it straight. And then they had the tonic. And I said, okay, I've tasted it straight and it's very yummy. Just put a splash of tonic in there now. And it's like, oh shit, that's really good. So that's my hot tip for the moment. Boutique mixes, Soda Smith in Coles, and they're half price this week. So support your local independent producer. See, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm a supporter of local producers. I'm patriotic. Look, the word hero is thrown around a lot, but you know, if you want to apply it to me, I guess I'll carry that burden of being a hero for supporting local producers. Oh, my God. Okay. I don't think I'm going to rush out and get that really expensive whiskey that I made this old fashioned with. But if Mrs. Angry and I have a weekend away out Geelong way again, oh my God, because there's this great place that we like to go. It's a vineyard. And I'm not a wine person, which is a real pity because you really get into wine. But they did these eco villas on their winery. And they're like, the one room thing. Really nice. And you have this big vista window to the vineyard, and it's just a really nice view. There's a cider brewery up the road, a cidery, I don't know. And they make extremely good ciders, but also instead of high tea, they have a thing they call high cheese. You get just this great selection of cheeses and things. Mrs. Angry and I love it. The distillery is called Flying Brick, and their logo is the black cockatoo. It's probably my favorite cider. Flying Brick make a whole bunch of different ciders. They probably are my favorite cider. But yes, these places we stay are it's about 1 kilometer away, but you can walk that easy enough. So we'll do that. We'll be staying in this place and we'll walk up there, have a few ciders, and have this high cheese. Oh, they make cocktails as well, which is good. But there are a couple of distilleries in the area as well, and one of them is the one that makes the whiskey that I made this old fashioned out of, the Bellarine distillery. If we go there again, do a tasting, I might be convinced to buy one of their bottles of expensive whiskey because it's really fucking good. Just really good. These aren't cheap, actually. The Imbue ones, they're all really good too. So, God, I was just in this phase where, I think I'm going to be good and responsible and stop buying bottles of booze. And then we went to the market, and I just wanted to be nice to all the people who had stalls, who gave us samples. I bought something from all of them, and I regret nothing because it was really good. But hot damn, now I have to go. Okay, now come on, be responsible. Like, don't buy any booze for like a month or something. Because I legit think if I stopped buying booze and just wanted to work my way through that and the liqueurs that are in there, and there's actually whiskey runoff, I think it would take me 3 years to drink my way through it all. It's just ridiculous. So when I buy extra things now, I don't need them. It's just a weird obsessive thing like, oh no, I want to buy that. I want to collect that. I want to add that to the collection. And it's redonkulous, quite honestly. It's like I can't justify it in any rational way, but it's just like, yeah, it just seems like a good idea and a thing I want to do. I want to have that. Oh, look, that's an interesting and unique beverage. I want that interesting and unique beverage in my collection. It's ridiculous. But also, I've seen people who have way more, like uh, one guy in particular I can think of that I follow on YouTube. His channel's called Your Drinking Buddy, and he just does whiskeys, and particularly American whiskeys. And I reckon his whiskey collection alone, same deal. If he stopped buying bottles today and just worked his way through his collection, I reckon it would take him 5 years to finish it. Because it's not about it's just obsessive collecting. Celtic, I do not like to think how many thousands of dollars I've spent on booze. It's disconcerting. Like I just look and you're like, oh, it's about $100. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 24, like 100 bottles. Oh no. I just did a little calculation in my head and I didn't like it. I did not like it. And this is a collection built up over 4 years. Like some of these bottles are years old. But I just did a quick calculation in my head and I did not like it. It's like I'm a very irresponsible individual. Strictly Sega, Dutinis for Sophie. Would I be right in guessing that's maybe Mountain Dew? Is it with gin? Heine, I do not have any budget booze. I don't buy budget booze. I mostly buy Australian booze, which is not budget, and even the international stuff I get is not budget. I know, again, I have some American friends on YouTube with cocktail channels, and they've done that. They're like, oh, build a bar on a budget. And they were talking in American terms with budget American spirits, which are of reasonable quality. But they're not even that cheap here. Like, because you get Americans going, oh, I paid $20 for this whiskey. And in Australia, you pay $50 for it. And the price difference is a combination of the exchange rate, the taxes, and how much it costs to ship things to Australia. So that's why I always like to say on my YouTube channel how expensive an Australian things. I go, okay, in relative terms, it's this many bottles of Jack Daniels. So these ones, Imbue, they're for bottles. They cost about 3 bottles of Jack Daniels, but the one I made this old fashioned out of from the Bellarine distillery, that's like 5 bottles of Jack Daniels. And no word of a lie, I would get one of those bottles before I'd get 5 bottles of Jack Daniels. It's just that simple. Oh, you okay? So you made a sour mix, and literally just with the citrus and sugar. That's what you got to do. Just mix citrus and sugar. Make your own sour mix. I fucking love sour cocktails. I don't make them that often, but it's very common to see them on menus when you go out to cocktail bars or restaurants that do cocktails. And Mrs. Angry and I go out and I go like, oh, all right, let's do that. Like we went out last Saturday, like not last night, the week before, and we had 3 rounds of drinks. The first 2 rounds were all sours. We're just looking at the menu going, that looks good, that looks good, that looks good. And they were all sours and they were all good. the last round we had martinis. We got a dry and a dirty martini, and we're swapping sips. It's really good. But it's like, again, I like the boozy drinks, but when someone makes a really good sour, it's really good. I hate the Jutini. So tell me, please, what is actually in the Jutini? I'm quite. You're very sweet. Yeah. But people who know what they're doing make really good sours. A sour is basically, in its simplest form, it's a spirit, a citrus, and sugar. And you can get very creative with what you put in there. And like I said, we went out last week. First 2 rounds was all sours. So we had 4 sours. They were all really different and they were all really good. And then we had some martinis. So your Jutini, tequila, Midori, sour mix, triple sec, and Mountain Dew. I can see why you're enjoying that. Purely and simply, and you made a nice sour mix. I absolutely see why you're enjoying that. No shade. I reckon I'd enjoy it too, honestly. I just like to mix things up. Like when I'm making drinks, I don't like to have the same thing over and over. A sour or a sweet drink or a dessert drink or a really boozy one. I just like to mix it up a bit. Soph's a sucker for the sweet cocktails. Oh shit, the one I did last night with Galliano, and I know you don't even have to have Galliano. Galliano is weird. My mate Dave just dropped it off and said, "Oh, this was open. You have it." But the one I made that had rum and Galliano and citrus juice and pineapple juice, it mostly tasted like pineapple juice. It was actually pretty good. It was a sour. I put some foamer in it and shook it up, and it looked really nice. I did not mind it at all. You've been a bit slack on your cocktail training. Yeah, you gotta keep up the training. I mean, I started messing around with cocktails 8 to 10 years ago, and I started getting a bit more serious 6 or 7 years ago. And then by the time COVID hit, I was pretty serious. But then I had Kirsten's influence. It's like, no, fuck all this cheap shit from overseas. Get Australian stuff. It's good. Oh yeah, make up your own stuff. Definitely. See, sick ass coffee cocktails. Once you learn what works and what works for you, you just go for it. Because it's a funny thing. There is basically only 4 types of cocktails, and everything is a variation on these 4 types. Either that or it's just shit that people throw together. So the 4 types of cocktails: the old fashioned, which is spirit, sugar, bitters. The spirit can be any spirit, or you can actually split it and use multiple different spirits to do different things. The sugar can be any sort of sweetener. And because all the different sweeteners add a different taste, and you can use all the different liqueurs as the sweetener as well. And even bitters, there's a fucking million different sorts of bitters out there. And so even in that simple template of the old fashioned spirit, sugar, bitters, you can do wild shit. Okay. The next major one is as like the spirit and the aromatized or fortified wine. So, and the most well known in that are the martini, which is gin and vermouth, or the Manhattan, gin and dry vermouth, or the Manhattan, which is whiskey and sweet vermouth. But there are a whole bunch of aromatized and fortified wines out there, and you can do amazing things just by trying out different spirits with different aromatized wines, fortified wines, Amaro, which are wine-based stuff as well. And so there's the basic ones are the martini and the Manhattan, but there's a whole room of experimentation there. Then there's the Daisy. Oh, sorry, let's go with the sour. The sour is spirit, citrus and sugar. The all-time classic, the whiskey sour, whiskey, lemon juice, and sugar. Uh, Fucking great. But you can mess around with that to a huge extent. Try all the different uh, spirits, the different juices, and the different sugars, and you can do a whole spectrum of things. That's a great drink. The whiskey sour, the rum version is the daiquiri with lime juice. The gin version is the gimlet with lime juice. So that's all good. And then the fourth type is the daisy. That's the spirit, citrus, liqueur, and maybe a sugar as well. And that's a margarita. A margarita is tequila and lime juice and orange liqueur and maybe some agave syrup. That's like one of the best known daisies. And the cosmopolitan is a daisy. But once you're getting into that, where you bring in liqueurs, because there's hundreds of sorts of liqueurs, you can come up with all sorts of things. The daisy is fucking wild. And technically, when you're doing coffee, depending what you're doing with coffee, I think most coffee cocktails probably count as a sort of daisy. But you can just throw shit in there. But and of course, dessert things. You throw some cream in there. Most dessert cocktails are either a sour or a daisy with cream added. And like, oh my God, like the all-time thing, pina colada is with coconut cream or cream of coconut. Oh, and that's so good. That's a rum daisy with cream added, basically. Rays, what are you up to? Finish your reports? Yeah, smoke and chill and watch. Dude, fucking treat yourself, man. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, coffee, if you like coffee flavors, they're good with an old fashioned. Like you get a coffee liqueur, you just pretend that's the sugar element of an old fashioned, basically. But it's or you do coffee and add extra sugar. Same thing is like a White Russian and the vodka and the coffee liqueur and the cream. But yeah, you get the additives like cream and shit. So when you look at the ones that have cream, it's like a cream one is usually going to be like a daisy with cream added. It might be just like an old fashioned variation with cream added as well. It's a whole thing. So you can say you do whiskey, simple syrup, creme de cacao, some Baileys, cold drip coffee. Yeah, see? And that is essentially an old fashioned. You're just messing around with what the sweetener is. You're combining stuff like creme de cacao, Baileys, caramel, maybe, and putting some coffee. And the coffees like to give it a bit of backbone flavor wise. So I fucking love experimenting with sweeteners, basically. Once you know those templates, you can just frigging go to town, and you split it up, and it's like I know I was joking with someone on one of the Facebook groups and said, it's interesting when you think about it. There's only these 4 types of coffees, and someone said like, what about tiki drinks? Tiki drinks tend to be ridiculous and have a huge amount of ingredients, but all tiki drinks are complicated sours or complicated daisies. It's like that they're literally doing the sugar and the sour and the spirit. And there might be multiple spirits, there might be multiple juices and multiple sweeteners in there. But the vast majority of tiki drinks are just complicated sours or complicated daisies. I'm glad you got into it, man. Used to be an everyday chuffer. Yeah. And here's what I love. I'm going to throw in, because I haven't mentioned the Blind Boy podcast for a while. The old angry bingo card. That's a square on it, mentioning Blind Boy. But I love what he said once. It's like With cocktails, it's like mindful alcohol drinking. If you're doing pints, you're just drinking them. If you're drinking wine, you're just drinking. But when you either make or buy a cocktail, because if you buy a cocktail, motherfucker is expensive. So you don't want to just neck it. You want to enjoy every sip. Same deal if you make it. It's a process to make it. And it's normally you're indulging in more expense with all the components. So when you make or buy a cocktail, it's much more about the experience. It's not just getting drunk. It's like, I want to appreciate every sip of this. And as much as you can get there, it's like mindful alcohol drinking. Yeah, have a couple of drinks so you don't get fully Tim Smithed. I was joking about that with some people I met today. I was like, yeah, it's like, damn, not last Friday, but the Friday before, where I gave myself several heavy pours of my freezer martini. That got me fucked up. Yeah, you're in a good mood. Go shopping online. Like Mrs. Angrino and I have worked out on date nights. 3 cocktails is where to stop, because it's like the places we go to, because we've found these really good places, and the drinks are so good. It's tempting to have more, but every time Mrs. Angry has more than 3, she feels oof the next day, and so well, okay. I have to admit, I'm a bit more of an alcoholic. I can drink more than her without feeling. Even like a one time recently, we went out and went, well, I'm going to have another one. You can have a sip of it. And she had several sips of it. And the next day she's like, yeah. I'm just like, okay, so I can't, or it's shouldn't say can't, because that sounds like I'm being told what to do. I choose to not have more than 3, because Mrs. Angry can't resist, because the drinks are so good. She can't resist having some of my 4th cocktail, and then she doesn't feel good the next day. So I don't want that. Drink too much. Oh man, I haven't thrown up for a few years, and even on the times a couple of years ago when I effectively passed out on the stream, not on camera. And I think that was really funny. It happened 2 times in the same month, I think, that I just drank so fucking much. And I just stumbled. That's when I was streaming from the kitchen, and I just stumbled into the next room, which was the lounge room. And I just sat on the really comfy lounge and went, and almost instantly fell asleep for several hours, but the stream was still running. I didn't throw up those times, and I didn't have a hangover the next day, but I was fucking tired. Yeah, I think it's definitely been a few years since I've thrown up, but I have done that. Yeah, you don't want to waste expensive booze and food. Yeah, no, no, I say that because that's happened. I mentioned the other YouTube cocktail channels doing live streams and stuff. I sort of joined in on one, and one of the dudes who was on the stream, and they'd been making a bunch of drinks, he had fallen asleep with his camera on, and he was literally doing this, and he was just asleep. And I came in late, and I'm going, wait, Rob's unconscious. Is he alive? And someone else came in late going, oh, is he still going? And I went, no, but look, Rob's there and he's unconscious. And we were sort of talking loud, seeing if we'd wake him up. And we thought, man, we should stay here until he wakes up, make sure he's okay. And he woke up after like an hour and went to bed. So I've never lost conscious. I've been extremely fucking drunk and incoherent on streams, but I haven't actually fallen asleep or thrown up on a stream. If you fall asleep on the movie, everyone gives him shit. Nice. AIDS he has, which was extremely funny, but that's more about his illness and sleep deprivation. There was extremely funny one stream where he was asleep for more than an hour, and he had just kind of leaned back in his seat and was going, and had lost consciousness. And we were like, fuck me, how long is he gonna be there and not be conscious? But that wasn't alcohol in his case. That was sleep deprivation caused by his chronic pain and chronic illness. But I would still make fun of him for it. And one day I might get really patient and dig through some really old hard drives because I save all my video stuff. And by really old, I mean somewhere like 8 to 10 years ago, I had the camera running and Aidsy fell asleep standing up. And I do not understand how this is possible, but it was because of the amount of painkillers he took. And he was standing up and talking, and he's leaning on his walking stick, and he started slurring more and more. And then he just went, "Rrr," and he lost consciousness, but he was fucking standing up. I don't even know how that is possible. How can you lose consciousness but be standing up? And he fucking did it. And to find, I've got that video saved somewhere, but to find it, I'd have to be just absurdly patient and sift through hours and hours of video footage. And yeah, honey, you've known Aidsy long enough. Of course you would have seen him do that. You've known him for 10 years or more. So I say known. It's like we were saying this the other night. It still feels surreal to me occasionally going like, oh, he's not with us anymore. Because he was such a presence. It just kind of feels like he's still around. But but yeah, favorite commentary video? You mean the DVD commentary tracks we did? Probably the funniest one, and this got age restricted on YouTube. It was one of the Harry Potter ones. I think it was like probably in the middle of the series, where we played the drinking game, and we had drinks in front of us, and we're like, okay, every time someone says Harry Potter, we have to take a drink. Not if they say Harry, not if they say Potter. They have to say Harry Potter. Every time someone says Harry Potter, we have to take a drink. Holy shit, we got so fucking shit-faced doing that one. That was pretty funny. Heidi, yeah, his mood, his spirit, yeah, I completely agree with you, man. The second favorite one is when we did horror movies, and particularly the really schlocky Japanese ones like Tokyo Gore Police or Big Tit Zombie, but also 30 Days of Night. Like when we did horror movies, and he was playing in character that he was upset by horror and gore, and I had to promise him that there was no terrible stuff in this. He didn't like stuff where people's insides ended up on the outsides, and that was joking and playing a character. But that was the second favorite. Probably the Harry Potter drinking game was pretty funny, but also when I had him watching horror movies, really schlocky horror movies, that was funny because he would act like he was traumatized by them. And absolutely, Stricker Sega, he was a full partner in the channel. It's the whole thing. So yeah, my recommendations, if you want to do an AZ commentary track, either the Harry Potter drinking game or one of the horror ones. And the ones I remember are Tokyo Gore Police, another Japanese one called Big Tit Zombie, or slightly classier, 30 Days of Night. Still one of my favorite horror films because it's so fucked up. There is very fucked up stuff in that movie. But just generally, the commentary track ones were fun because they were meant to be interactive. Like we'd sit there and go, okay, we're pushing play now, and you should watch along with us, and we will just try to say funny and entertaining stuff about the movie that's going on to feel like you're with us. Oh god, Hobo with a Shotgun is such a fucking weird movie, and I say that as a positive, but it was definitely a really fucking weird movie. You watch Hobo with a Shotgun at least once a year? God, I don't think I've watched it since that one with AZ, honestly. Maybe I should watch it again and play that commentary. Oh god, that would actually be fun. Ah, I'd never thought of doing that. Watching one of those movies back with the commentary track with AZ. I might get really emotional if I did that. It's like I would be sitting with him watching it again. Damn. Oof. Maybe we could. Oh, okay. Love the aesthetic choices. Maybe we could do that on a stream one night. We could all agree on a movie for which there's an existing commentary track with me and AZ. And then I could queue up the movie again. And I could like listen to it with headphones because of course if the audio comes out on YouTube, I'll get content matched and fucked up. But I could be listening to the track and anyone on the stream could be watching it as well and experiencing watching it with AZ. Oh wow. Do a popular movie. Yes, definitely. Honey, you got a DVD haul. 39. Oh wow, that's a classic, The 39 Steps. Oh god, The Descent. That's a fucking wild one. Okay, I watched The Descent. That was a wild movie. Yeah, 39 Steps is a fucking classic. So maybe that's something we could plan for the future. Maybe for a Friday night. I don't know. That's something to file away. Of the existing commentary track ones with AZ, which one is one that a lot of people would have? How was Michael Dorn in Descent? Who knows, Heidi? Who knows? But I remember The Descent being a reasonably trippy movie. I probably don't remember anything specific, just vaguely. Yeah, no, we'll keep reminding. We'll bring this up in multiple streams till everyone wants to do it. Yeah, see, I'd love to do a Harry Potter as well. It's kind of been poisoned by what a piece of shit J.K. Rowling is. Um, she's so fucking awful. It's totally poisoned the whole Harry Potter thing. But they're definitely, I think, the most popular ones we did. I need to fucking look it up. Um, what ones we actually did. I don't know if I did a fucking. Oof, I don't know if I did a playlist of them. Which YouTube channel am I logged into? Okay, that's Angry Aussie. Okay, where's my channel? Videos. No, no, I haven't changed a playlist for like 10 years. Okay, fine. Oof. Okay, I think I got them all watching. I go searching. Okay, somebody's watching me. Okay, Zombieland was the mainstream. All the Harry Potter ones. Tokyo Gore Police. 30 Days of Night. Pacific Rim. That's a good one. Green Hornet. The Hobbit. The Hunger Games. All the Harry. Oh, Dread. Oh my God, I haven't watched Dread in so long. I love that movie so much. Maybe do that. Hobo with a Shotgun. Uh, okay, so those are the ones that okay, what if I put movies? is the search term. What the fuck? Movies. What comes up there? Tokyo Gore Police, Zombieland, Harry Potter, 30 Days of Nights, Pacific Rim, Hunger Games. God, now I'm kind of leaning towards Dread, quite honestly, because I love that movie so much. More Harry Potter, Hobo with a Shotgun. I'm kind of leaning towards Dread, quite honestly. Because I fucking love that movie. Maybe. Who knows? Hello, Dr. Abigail. How you doing? Oh, fucking Dread is so good. Carl Urban. And we enjoyed them. That's the one I'm leaning to. Do a watch session with the Dread movie. Because I love that so fucking much. Good stuff. 9:40. I didn't even drink any of the mixes tonight. I was thinking of having a gin and tonic, but I think I'm just going to drink water for the rest of the stream, really. I feel like we must have done 300, actually. Or maybe I just did that on a live stream. I do remember getting fucked up drunk watching 300 and it's my 300th video on YouTube. Maybe it was just a fucking live stream back in the blog TV days, because I feel like I got super fucking shit-faced and watched 300 and just said things like, I don't know, people say this movie's gay, but if watching mostly naked muscle men is gay, I just don't know. And I feel like that was one of the live streams, if my memory serves me correctly. I had no, because I think what happened is Mrs. Angry was away and I was left to my own devices. So I was just drinking and watching movies and giving commentary tracks on them. And I woke up the next morning thinking, I have no fucking idea how I got to bed or what happened. And I remember going into the bathroom and the medicine cabinet was all fucked up. So I'd clearly gone in going, I should have some headache tablets before I go to bed. And I fucked everything up in the medicine cabinet and then gone to bed. And so I rather sheepishly went on social media the next day and say, hey, who was watching the stream and how did it finish? Because I am somewhat embarrassed to say I do not actually remember what the fuck happened. And people told me that basically I was on for hours and hours because I watched more than one movie. And towards the end, as I got more shit-faced, I kind of got more quiet and stopped talking. And because I was sitting in my lounge room with a laptop watching TV, and apparently I did something like, "Oh, I gotta go to bed," and I just closed the laptop. not my proudest moment, but also not my least proud moment, to be completely honest. I have done worse things than that. So, but yeah, that was, I still remember the embarrassment of going on social media and going, hey, I literally do not remember how I finished that stream last night. Did anyone watch? And what the fuck did I do? And when did I go to bed? Ugh. And that was, man, how long ago was that? 8, 9, 10 years ago? I don't even remember. Because I know it was in my old house, and I've been in this house for 7 years. So if I did that, it was 8, 9, 10 years ago. Damn. Damn. God, what was that meme from a few years ago? It's like, damn, with the shoes again? I'm forgetting the name. It's very weird. It was Donald, wasn't it? Damn, Donald. Now I want to look that up. If I go on the internet and search for damn Donald, we'll see what comes up. Damn. I feel like it was Donald. That's it. Back at it with the white vans. That was it. What the fuck is that? It's TikTok doing weird shit. Okay, that was a bad idea. Timmy Tim Smith. Okay, I'm not going to make it. I'm going to go in 50 minutes, but I literally have to piss, which is ridiculous. But I will. I can't hold it for 10 minutes. I'll be back. Oh, okay, that's a relief. Oh, I literally was not going to last 10 more minutes with that. Okay. Oof. So, yes. Oof. Oh, get that out. They say during sex you burn off in the calories running 8 miles. I say miles in 30 seconds. Nice. Yes. I love the jokes. Also, I do feel like sex is about the most exercise I get. Get very sweaty and tired. Because I'm the marathon man. All right. Sorry. Try not to upset anyone talking about old people sex. Oh, that's such a relief just now. Sexercise. It is. It's good aerobic exercise, quite honestly, if you're doing it right. So again, sex is such a weird thing. the old Olivia Newton-John song. Let's get physical, physical. I wanna get physical. Ah, Livy, she's amazing. She had that weird bit of international fame after being in Greece. And okay, now I'm going to look up the physical album. Came out a few years later, I think, but I'm going to look it up. ONG song by Olivia Newton-John, 81, and that was a huge international hit. So that was 81. When did the Greece 78? So yeah, okay, she cashed in on Greece a couple of years later. And that was her peak, basically. Okay, we're just getting there. Anal sex used to be kinky. Now it's normal. You're like, why did no one tell me? That's just normal. Dude, okay, you're just going there. Knife play? I know, people are into weird shit. And I will admit that in the past, I've been with someone and they were into shit that I thought was weird. It's like, okay, it's your thing. I'll go along with it. Basically, role playing, and it's just like, ugh. Never did knife play though. Went to a TED talk about BDSM. Now, I find BDSM really interesting because it's if you're not a weird, creepy abuser, it's the ultimate form of consent. It's like extreme consent. It's like people are consenting to do extreme things. And that's what makes it hot, quite honestly. And I've heard way too many stories from different people in the scene that the worst people to get involved with are young men who just seem to have weird, creepy, abusive fantasies. But the whole thing, I do very much agree with the phrase consent is sexy. And so, so I think BDSM is the ultimate consent. When people are legitimately consenting to do the kinky shit, that's when you're getting into some fun right there. So, but I have heard from a lot of people that the scene's polluted by people who just want to do fucked up things and do not get consent at all. But for me, consent is the central thing. If someone comes from 0 and say 10, they offer me 7. That's what the thing. And it's kind of funny. And I have had conversations with people in the past about what's going to get wild and stuff. And I go, well, what are your boundaries? And someone goes, no boundaries. And I said, okay, so therefore, and then you tell them something really extreme and they go, oh no, don't do that. And I said, okay, so understand what your boundaries are. That's extremely important. Because you can test someone's boundaries consensually, but if you go way beyond someone's boundaries non-consensually, that's not good. Yeah, checking in is the core thing. You got to check in. Oh yeah, testing if someone's jaw's clenched. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, the checking in is the huge thing, and not being shy about asking for consent, understanding boundary, various things you can warn, and even, of course, if you're getting into BDSM, someone might be gagged, so you have to work out non-verbal cues. But if you can do verbal cues, even just traffic lights, like red light, green light, yellow light. So it's like, how's this going? And it's like green. It's like, this is awesome. Do it. Go for it. Yellow light is you're approaching a boundary, so don't take it any further. Red light is time to stop. Toronto Maple Leaf, hello. How are you doing? And yes, that's why I completely agree, Strictly Sega. BDSM or any sort of extreme interpersonal sexual behavior, you need to be really clear about boundaries and triggers, um, because what's perfectly fine with one person will be extreme and unacceptable with another person. And I think that's Mrs. Angry. So that's me going to bed. You can put some ointment on the thing on my back, which I can't reach. But I am going to go to bed. So I'll do the ceremonial cherry eating. Oh hell yeah, dude! I'm down for it. Second martini chattiness. I'm absolutely down for it. Hey, the oval will be a good way to wind down. Jumper Maple Leaf is tired. 22-page essay. God damn. You need to chill out, my friend. I'm going to go to bed because it's bedtime. So I'll see you fine folk another time. I mean, probably on Tuesday night if you're around, but sometime in the future, maybe.